there were two ways of approaching it. You had self-censorship. So you know what you can write about, how far you can go. You couldn't say socialism. We didn't use word communism that time, socialist. You couldn't say socialism is bad because, and then you listed it in political sense or economical sense. No. What you could do, you can say, in general, it's very good, but there are particular things which are not in good shape, and then you can go and so it was like talking about the reality, but without conclusions. Conclusions couldn't be general. Conclusions couldn't be undermining the system.
Mm-hmm.
You could describe details, you can say certain things, but you could not dig under the system somehow. So, you know, being a journalist means being critical.
Yes.
That's the nature of this job, of this profession, or even better word, vocation. Vocation. So naturally, every journalist is critical and prefers to write some critical things because that's natural. You are listening to people. You are presenting. You are somehow represent. We are not politicians, but
Oh.
we put themselves in a politician role
Mm-hmm.
in this sense that we are trying to change the reality because we believe that we express what people would like us to do, our readers, viewers, listeners. With the internet, it's very easy to check whether we are right or not. So I think I like it. This is what we do. So that was the one approach.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, you know, being critical, but within the system.
Yes.
And another approach was to step outside the system, and then you are free to write whatever you want without censorship, but illegally. For
Yeah.
some people, I knew some journalists, some good journalists, who were saying, no, 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 no. I'm legalist. I can only work above ground. I'm not such a legalist. And I decided that I would work both above ground and below ground.
Okay. Um, do you see a lot of difference with that time period and right now?
Oh, yes, of course. There is no censorship.
Mm-hmm.
However, so it's the biggest difference. There is no censorship, that's true. However, in public, so-called public media,
Mm-hmm.
which I mean by that TVP, television
Yes.
owned by government,
Yes.
has to say, Polish radio, the same, Polish press agency, national press agency, I see the same way of propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
So no censorship, but when you watch evening news, I can tell you what will be in the evening news of today, the order of news. The
Okay.
first news that, yes, whatever happens, you know, of course, revolution in Moscow or
Mm-hmm.
big disaster, but if things are going more or less like they were going yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
today news in the evening will be first. Injections for COVID are going very well. We are fighting. We have 500 dead people a day, but you know, okay, nothing special. Then the government is investing. There is huge investment in the country. We are doing very well economically. The news number 3, opposition is bad. Opposition has no plan for Poland and blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have now this tribunal of European Union, and they had something about low bidding problem in Poland. So Mr. Tanchev prosecutor general in this court. He is a son of the communist professor in Bulgaria. Bad guy. And you know, things like that. I can really predict what will be in the evening news. And of course, maybe I present it, you know, in a funny way, because I can either spit or laugh at it. But between 2 and 3 million people are regularly watching it. They are older, like me. They are not educated. I am educated, fortunately. And they believe it. The problem is they believe it, you know. It was very interesting news, just I've heard it today over the radio, the free radio, not the government radio. I think in a year, the acceptance of European Union by population in Poland dropped 6% down. Very important. We used to be very Euro-enthusiastic nation. And because of this propaganda being being injected, I would say, to the minds of people by this state media, 6% less Poles are accepting the European Union as a whole. For many months, from the beginning of this year was the third wave of COVID. Every day on Wiadomości they were saying, we could, how do you call szczepić, we can inject more people, but European Union has no medicine, you know. We don't have medicine from European Union. European Union is late with the medicine. You know, without European Union, we would not have any medicines for that, because we are not very wealthy country, and I'm quite sure that Holland would buy it first for bigger money, Germany, France, Great Britain outside, you know, whatever. With the European Union, it was bought all together and then divided according to number of people very fairly. So it was in solidarity, which is the Polish word, you know. But they were saying just the opposite. European Union is, it is fault of European Union that we are not fast enough with the injections of COVID, you know. Awful propaganda, but it works, unfortunately.
So what kind of